How you going, mate? I'm the Dusty Bogan.
Yeah, Jim Savage.
Jim Savage?
Yes.
That's a great name. So what are we're here for the anti-safe school rally,
That's correct, absolutely.
and you have concern about it. There's reason for people to be concerned.
Very much so. In fact, in January 2016, I released the One Nation policy that we will, given the opportunity, ban safe schools in Queensland schools.
Oh, mate. You're a legend, mate. I remember when the election was on, the state election, for me, I saw One Nation was saying that against it, and I was like, I'm backing One Nation. Like, no one else was out there really putting it out there, were they? Like, One Nation was. They were out there saying, no, we don't want this. And I don't want it. I don't want it taught to my kids, or my brother's kids or my mates' kids.
Well, I won't have it taught to my kids. In fact, when I enrolled my children in their current school, the first question I asked the headmistress was, do you teach safe schools here? She said no, and I said, okay, let's continue the interview. So that's a condition. I won't have it taught to my children. They're my children. And, it's interesting that the very people who through their lifestyle, behaviour or choices, or whether they're born that way or whatever, but the people who through their own actions or inactions are incapable of naturally having children of their own, are so keen to get their hands on our children.
Yeah,
Why is that? Why is that? They obviously can't breed their own, that's fine, up to them, but they're not going to take mine. They're my children. When I was a little boy at primary school, I was too interested in fishing or catching yabbies down at the local creek. I was not stressing out about whether I was a girl or whether I was a raging homosexual. I was a boy. We didn't even know such things. It was beyond our comprehension. And it will be beyond the comprehension of the current generation unless some moron starts putting it in their head.
Yeah, that's right. Let kids be kids, hey? Like, these little buggers, they're out there just trying to get by. These are our kids, hey?
Yep.
And my thought is, obviously, I think of a family tree, hey? Like, I want my family tree to keep going. Like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, it was bloody hard. And I'm here, the result of my family, having kids, heterosexual, monogamous relationships, Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, like, we get it. But the thing is, we want to keep that culture going, and we don't want our kids' heads filled with ideas. And we see it in the Commonwealth Games. We've seen it bloody everywhere. Like, it's getting out of control,
I will be making mention of that in my speech today. But the fact is, I cannot understand why such a tiny, tiny minority of our community has such an incredible influence over the majority. And you mentioned the Commonwealth Games. We had a New Zealand man competing in the women's weightlifting. Nobody made a complaint. The other female athletes, they were obviously not going to make a complaint. We have been shut up by the left-wing press. Our politicians are almost without exception gutless. The majority of the advisors in Parliament House in Canberra are gay or queer or bi. The majority of them, particularly in the Prime Minister's Department. So our politicians are surrounding themselves in an ocean of LGBTI influence to the point where they think it's normal and it's widespread. They have lost perspective, totally lost perspective. They are no longer representing you or I.
So it's like, is it 1% or 2% of the population? It's such a small, like, I don't know, you got gay, lesbian, then you got the LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the list goes on, but there's still only, 2.5%? I don't know, if you bring in all the little minorities, they're just such a tiny, tiny little group, and they're dictating to all of us.
Well, one of the new genders that Yvette D'Arth, the Labor Attorney General, wants to introduce onto Queensland birth certificates is intersex. Now, intersex is where you are born with a chromosomal variance, and it's not the fault of the person. They're born that way. The medical profession says that the people born that way represent 0.0005 of 1% of the population. Or put another way, 1/10,000th of 1%. Why are we changing our birth certificates to code for 1/10,000th of 1%? 7% of all children go hungry at least once a month in this country, according to Food Bank Australia. 7%. Government does nothing. But 1/10,000th of 1% is born intersex. We change the law. We've lost the plot. We've gone stark barking mad in this country.
Lost the plot, mate. And the thing is, one thing I don't get right, they've done it they've done it to the police force and the military. Like, they've brought in gender quotas. The LGBTQI, right? These guys, they've got the cops under the pump, the military under the pump, they've got Commonwealth Games under the pump, the bloody politicians, they're bringing in birth certificates and bloody into education. It's a joke, you know what I mean? And we're all saying, when did this happen? This happened, like, it seems to me, when this gay marriage came in, it went like that. And all the politicians are saying, no, it's just one issue, that's all we're going to do. And we're looking down the line now, and all the crap, everyone who said, vote no, we don't know what's going to happen, it's almost already happened. It's already come through. Like,
the Queensland Attorney General said, I believe it was on Wednesday night this week, in regards to the proposal to change the genders on birth certificates. She said, look, the Australian public and the Parliament have voted for same-sex marriage. You want this, you've supported it, that's why we're doing it. So the gay marriage bill was the thin end of the wedge. We all know that, those of us who care to state it. Yeah. And this is just an example of it now spreading its tentacles into every aspect of our society. Yeah. And they're going to steal our next generation from us.
And what do you think about, they all say multicultural, don't they? Multiculturalism. Well, I'm sorry, it's their way, isn't it? It's just their way or no way. Like, they're pushing this on every aspect of society. They're coming in on every angle, pushing this agenda. But hang on a minute, there's conservatives. I know Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, Jews, Christians, atheists. So many people who say, no, this isn't a part of what I believe. This isn't a part of my culture. I thought we were multicultural. I thought that's what that big fucking push was. But it's not. It's not. It's their way or no way. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. That's what it is.
Well, the LGBTI lifestyle is not a culture. It's just a sexual variation. If they choose to go that way, that's fine. It's not a culture.
Yeah.
They're not like they're Filipino or Thai or Russian or Chinese. It's not a culture. No. Let's not give it the credence of calling it a culture. It's not a culture. And as I said, intersex people represent 10,000ths of 1%. It is hardly worthy of changing our laws to suit them. We've just gone mad. Karl Marx said, the surest way to destroy a society is to break up the family unit, and that's exactly what they're doing. They will destroy our society because we will no longer have a cohesive family units anymore. That's what it's all about.
It's
break
an
up
attack
the family.
on family, isn't it?
It is, very much so. We call nature Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Not big nature or glorious nature, Mother Nature. Because nature is like a mother. It is a mother. Why do we call Mother Nature Mother? A mother is the essential part of a family. It's what gives birth to a family. It's the nurturer. It's the carer. The family unit has a mother, as we call Mother Nature Mother. They are trying to break this down now. Children are being taught if you want to be called Little Johnny when your name's Mary, well, we won't even in the southern states. We don't even have to tell your parents now. We'll call you Johnny at school now. Somebody up in Gympie, I believe, said their child came home and said that one of the kids in their class is now called by a boy's name, a girl. The parents haven't been told, but now the school officially treat this girl as a boy. The parents are no longer considered worthy of knowing. They are screwing with our kids.
Yeah, whose kid is it? It's our children.
It's our children. As the signs say, keep your hands off our children.
Yeah, and that's right. Yeah. Well, I reckon, mate, thank you so much. And I reckon you're a legend. And
thank you.
I'm totally grateful for men like you. You're the trailblazers. And the next generation, we will keep going, you know what I mean? Well, you've set us up to win,
It's up to this generation to do something. We can no longer continue to be indifferent. Our politicians are indifferent. They're either against us or they're indifferent. Or they're lazy, or they're gutless, or they're cowards.
Yeah.
Or they don't care. Well, that's indifference. It's up to us.
Fight for our families.
We have to do it. They won't. We've got to do it.
All right,
they
cheers,
won't do
mate.
it. We kick them out and put somebody in who will.
That's right.
Yeah, cheers.
God bless.
Yeah, you're most welcome.